As schoolwork amplifies in the classrooms this week, so does our high school sports coverage. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy, and we have more sports to cover than last week as girls swimming and tennis have begun conference play. We'll start today's show on the football field. Last Friday saw 4 of our 6 teams pick up Week 1 victories. Let's head to Naperville North, where the Huskies play Loyola Academy for the first time since defeating them in the 1992 Class 6A state championship. After a victorious season opener against Homewood Flossmoor, the Naperville North Huskies are back under the Friday night lights of their home field. Tonight's visitors are the defending 8A state champions, the Loyola Academy Ramblers. The Ramblers received the opening kickoff and began the drive from the 20-yard line. QB Ryan Fitzgerald takes the snap and finds some space to his left down the sideline. He sidesteps one defender and is eventually knocked out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Loyola enters Husky territory just a minute into play. On second down, the play-action fake freezes the defense, and Fitzgerald sails one over the middle into the hands of Nicholas Arrogandade. It's 7-0 Loyola with after only a handful of plays from scrimmage. After a Naperville North punt, the Ramblers face a 4th down near midfield. Donovan Howard bursts through the Loyola front, while Luke Williams and a gang of Huskies take down the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage. The Huskies take over down 7-0 halfway through the first quarter. Moments later, Jacob Bell drops back and connects with Luke Williams near the sideline. He sheds one defender and then is brought down near the 35. North enters Rambler territory with 5 minutes left in the first. Later in the drive, the Huskies have a 4th and 6 in the red zone. Bell tries to escape to his right, but Connor Sullivan tracks him down and records a sack. Loyola reclaims possession with less than 3 minutes in the opening quarter. After Loyola tacked on a field goal, North is facing a 10-0 deficit in the second quarter. Bell is looking for Williams once again, but Donovan Robinson jumps the route and he takes it the other way for a touchdown. The Ramblers extend the lead to 17-0 with 7 minutes left in the half. With less than a minute until halftime, Michael Baker is back on the field attempting a 46-yard field goal. He boots it, but Luke Williams gets a hand on it and scoops it up. The Huskies keep the score at 17-0 as they head into the locker room. Fast forward to the second half, the Huskies have a deficit to overcome. Bell tries to connect with Cole Arl in the flat, but Kai Williams anticipates the throw and he completes the second pick 6 of the night for the Ramblers. Loyola goes up 24-0 with that score, and they go on to win 27-6 after North scored in the final minute. The Huskies will look to bounce back next week at Bolingbrook.
Waubonsie Valley football travels to Plainfield East for a Week 2 matchup. The Warriors are coming into the game after beating Oswego East, while the Bengals dropped their first match. We start the game with Plainfield East forced to punt, but breaking through the defensive line is Julian Johnson making the block, and the ball is recovered by Bryce Provis. Warriors take over on the 30. 2 plays later, Luke Elsey hands off to Tyler Threet, who finds the gap, sprinting in a 25-yard touchdown. Waubonsie Valley goes up 7-0 early on. Halfway through the second quarter now, Brandon Paredes gives the ball to Noah McConico, who breaks through the Warrior defense, picking up 35 yards before being pushed out of bounds at the 20. A couple of plays after that, Brandon Paredes keeps the ball himself, avoiding 2 Warrior players, breaking a tackle, and then carrying the ball into the end zone. The Bengals tie up the game at 7 going into halftime. Into the third quarter now, and the Bengals are forced to punt again. Christian Simmons is back to receive the ball as he turns on the Jets, sprinting past everyone. He makes his way down the sideline, but catching up to him is Michael Granberry, who takes him down at the 8. An 85-yard return for Simmons puts the Warriors in scoring position. Waubonsie looking to capitalize on the big play. Luke Elsey peels off to his right, firing into the end zone, connecting with Trent Selby for the touchdown. However, there's a flag on the field for an illegal player downfield, bringing the play back. The Warriors eventually find the end zone as Elsey picks out Brady Teeple for the go-ahead touchdown. Wabanzi takes the lead 14-7 going into the final frame. Luke Elsey and Wabanzi starts the fourth quarter with the ball in their own half. Elsey hands off to Tyler Threet, who shows off his speed again, picking up a 30-yard gain. The green and gold face a fourth down. Luke Elsey keeps it himself, picking up a massive first down for the Warriors. Same drive for Dub V. Elsey hands off to Jacob McBride, who gets some help from Cornelius Humphreys, pushing him into the end zone. Wabanzi Valley caps off another strong game, taking down Plainfield East by a score of 20-7. The Warriors have already scored more points in 2 games than they did all of last season.
When we return, let's go down to the tennis courts and talk it up about some DVC action. Then we'll dive right into the girls' swimming season.
Look, Mom, I found one.
Oh, yeah, you did, but we need an ATM from our bank, unless you want to spend a small fortune in fees.
No, thank you. Banking with BMO means more fee-free ATMs than the 2 largest U.S. banks combined, including places like pharmacies and grocery stores.
Saving money and more convenient. Look at you being so helpful.
What'd you expect? You're studying at a help stop.
That's you.
That's me, at a desk.
When a bank helps you get and stay ahead, that's the BMO effect.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
We have our first girls tennis match with a matchup between the DVC's top teams from a year ago. The DuPage Valley girls tennis season kicks off with 2022 conference champions Naperville North hosting Neuqua Valley, who finished as the runners-up a season ago. Brooke Kaufman competing at 1 singles against Kendall Klimek from Neuqua Valley, who is in the top spot for the Cats to start the year. Klimek serves in the far court, and it's a good one as Kaufman has to lob it back over. Klimek then lightly taps the ball back over for the point, catching her opponent off guard. While Klimek uses finesse for her point, here we see Kaufman looking to use her power. It does not matter if it's a forehand or backhand, the Husky puts everything she has into these returns, eventually putting the point away with a strong forehand in the corner. Speaking of power, Kaufman serving in the far court rips an ace right down the middle as she goes on to win her matchup in 2 sets, as well to give the Huskies the early edge. Neuqua Valley also moving 2 returners around in the early season. Singles state qualifier Sophia Xiao competing at 1 doubles with partner Kylie Tron. They face Huskies Ariana and Annika Parik, who have both spent time as singles players in past seasons. Ariana is a senior and Annika a junior. Together they combine for a great point in the opening set that finishes with a strong smash up at the net for the blue and orange. Neuqua picks up a win in 3 doubles, so the Wildcats look to even the team score with a victory in 1 doubles. Sophia Xiao doing her part as she unleashes a perfectly placed backhand that kisses the sideline for the point. What a shot as Neuqua takes set 1, 6-0. The Pariks with a serve in the near court looking to stay alive in set 2, but the Neuqua pairing is just too much to handle on this day. Kylie Tron playing at the net where she just deadens the ball off the racket to secure the straight set victory. Naperville North ends up winning 4-3 over Neuqua Valley as a team thanks to a 3-set tie-breaking win in 4 doubles behind Claire Tanza and Varsha Pamulapati. An exciting way to begin the DVC slate.
It's a beautiful day for a girls' tennis match. Wabanzi Valley is off to a strong 3-0 start to their season as they face off against Naperville Central. We start with 1 singles between Richa Kapoor and Claire Cameron, as Cameron's return is too long, giving Kapoor an early point. A couple of points later, Claire Cameron is serving. Her service is a good one, causing troubles for Kapoor, giving the Red Hawk the point. Serving now is Richa Kapoor, who picks up a service ace of her own. Although Kapoor was in the lead at this point, unfortunately she got injured later on in the set, giving Claire Cameron the injury default victory. Moving on to two singles, with Rao Zhu Shen facing off against Chloe Cochran. The Red Hawk gets an early point in this game with a backhand shot that beats Cochran. It doesn't take long for Chloe Cochran to find her groove in the first set as she wins it in 6-1 fashion. The second set was no different for the Warrior as she battles to keep this rally alive, finding the open space for the finishing point, giving her the 6-0 set 2 win. Adding a partner for one doubles, Wabanzi's Sophia Peralta and Isha Srinivasan take on Amy Patel and Kira Yang as Yang gets us started with an ace. Later on in the match, the pairs go back and forth in this rally. It eventually comes to an end when Patel can't return Peralta's hit, giving the Warrior duo the point. Match point now for the Wabanzi duo. Isha Srinivasan's serve is a good one that is returned by Yang, but Peralta meets it at the net, giving the pair the 6-3, 6-4 win. Wabanzi Valley defends their home court, opening up their conference season with a 5-2 win against Naperville Central.
It should be an exciting season in girls tennis as almost all of our teams return state qualifiers from 2022. Let's now transition to the pool and get an early look at how some local teams have started the year.
The girls' swimming season is underway at Wabanzi Valley. The Warriors host their first DVC meet of the season against Naperville Central. Our first race of the meet is the 200 medley relay. It was a close race throughout, but winning the race with a time of 1:55.78 is Naperville Central's Michaela Belisario, Natalie Vogel, Lauren Eschmeyer, and Alexa Goldstone. Next up is the 200 freestyle. This race was led by two Warriors as Anna Hansruk won the race by over a second ahead of teammate Isidra Pereira. Moving on to the third race, the 200 IM. The race was led from start to finish by Wabanzi's Abby Brown, who won the race with a time of 2:18.11. Time for the shortest race of the evening, the 50-yard freestyle. As always, it was a close race with Malini Madaman coming out in front, followed closely by Lauren Eschmeyer and Kaylin Ball. Following a break, the activities resume with the 100-yard butterfly. Malini Madaman picked up where she left off, winning the race with a time of 1:01.99. Immediately after is the 100 freestyle, where Anna Hansruk joined the multiple winners category with a time of 55.26, half a second behind with Lauren Eschmeyer. Back to the relays with the 200 freestyle relay. Wabanzi pulls away at the end by half a second, giving Malini Madaman, Ruby Meyer, Aubrey Telaga, and Anna Hansruk the win. Flipping over to the backstroke with our closest race of the night. Bella Plude and Michaela Belisario went down to the wire, with Plude touching the wall 0.01 seconds ahead of Belisario. Our last race of the evening was the 100-yard breaststroke. Another close race ends in favor of the Red Hawks, with Macy Fultz finishing 0.02 seconds ahead of Natalie Vogel. Although Naperville Central finished with a win, Wabanzi Valley takes home the meet victory by a final score of 105-81.
Metea Valley looks to start the girls' swimming season strong as the Mustangs get set to compete in their first home meet of the season. They welcome the Bennett Academy Red Wings, a team that's also looking to start strong after beating Mother McCauley earlier this week. This meet starts with everyone's favorite race in the 200-yard medley relay. Bennett's group of Gisli Bucher, Caroline Shepard, Abby Wojcik, and Maddie Novak are in a tight battle early on, but pull away ahead of Metea's group of Ella Chua, Kira Henkel, Addison Bludgeon, and Molly Schalk by 5 seconds. To the 200-yard freestyle we go, and it's another close pack of swimmers right away. What looks to be close early on turns into cruise control for Metea's Emily Schalk, swimming her way to a time of 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Teammate Sarah Volks and her sister Molly come right behind her. Rolling to the 200-yard IM, and Bennett's Imogen Duffy is back for another season. Here she is in the water in a neck-and-neck battle with Mattia's Allison Leslie, but Duffy pulls away in the end and wins this and the 500-yard freestyle later in the meet. We turn on the Jets in the 50-yard free. Lucy Rooney, who played with the Red Wing volleyball team last season, is now testing out her skills on the swim team. I'd say she found her groove in the pool as she and teammates Claire Donnelly and Gisli Bucher go 1, 2, 3 in a fast race. Back to another relay, the 200-yard freestyle edition. The Mustangs turn on turbo mode with the Schulk girls, Leslie, and Vokes. The winning time for the MV group is 1 minute and 43 seconds. Time to step back from 200 to 100. In the 100-yard butterfly, Mustang Allison Leslie is back for her senior year, ready to make a big splash, and she does so in this race. Partner Emily Schulk tries to catch up, but nothing wrong with a 1-2 finish for the Mustangs. From the fly to the free, and still at 100 yards. Black and Gold gets some late pushes, and Allison Bludgeon continues to help her squad. Thanks to the late efforts, Mattia gets by Bennett to start the season on a high note.
This week's Girls Play of the Week comes from Anaya Warren of Bennett Academy Volleyball. The Red Wings took on Mattia Valley in a matchup between a pair of one-loss teams. Warren's play helped Bennett win a commanding first set and eventually earn a match sweep over the Mustangs. Bennett receives the ball and sets up Tarnow for the kill, but it gets blocked. The first Red Wing to react is Morgan Asleson, who makes a great dig. Warren wastes no time and scrambles to make the diving set, which perfectly falls to Ava Novak for the kill. Let's take one more look in slow motion. A great defensive play from Warren and her Red Wing teammates. This play helped bring Bennett's first set lead to 23-11. Coming up after the break, see what these former Husky siblings and recent graduates were doing over the summer. Then we'll head to Bennett Academy for a matchup between two of our best girls volleyball programs.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
Oh yeah, I'll take one of your specials, my man.
There you go, princess.
We were there when you explored questionable street meat.
Maybe read the reviews next time?
We were there for that. And we're here for everything else. Here it's personal, because we get to know you.
Grace and Sophie Raquel were both key members to state championship winning teams for Naperville North girls water polo. Despite their recent graduations, their adventures playing the sport are far from over. Patrick Cotto has more in our latest featured story, sponsored by Edward Elmer's Health.
The Raquel sisters have been key contributors for Naperville North girls water polo for over a half-decade. Both were members of state championship teams, with Grace as a senior goalie for the 2021 undefeated championship season, along with Sophie chipping in as a sophomore. Speaking of Sophie, she then helped the Dogs repeat as champs in 2022 as a junior. After an all-state performance in 2023, Sophie is taking her talents to Cal Lutheran, while Grace enters her junior season at St. Francis University in Pennsylvania for water polo. However, both stayed involved with the sport in more ways than one this past summer. For a second consecutive summer, Sophie competed in the USA Water Polo Junior Olympics, while Grace worked as a commentator for the games. This year, Sophie joined her older sister behind the mic, with the former Huskies even announcing games together.
It was a lot of fun, kind of just being able to experience it together after we've played together too, and just having another one of those memories.
We would kind of switch back and forth, but sometimes we would like poke fun at each other and just be like, hey, like you missed something, or like, hey, like that was a really good color commentary, good explanation. So it was nice. We kind of built off each other as the day progressed because they were pretty long days.
Grace has been able to call many of Sophie's games in the past 2 summers, including one where Sophie nailed a goalie shot to beat the buzzer in 2022, which helped the team eventually win gold in Session 3 of the 17U Junior Olympics.
And shoot for a top corner that goes far down! And
Sophie Raquel makes that shot. Her whole team is coming in to celebrate her.
While rocking the headset, Grace had to keep her emotions in check when commentating on games in which Sophie was competing.
I tried to stay as unbiased as I could. In the championship game, I did on purpose, though, mispronounce her name as many times as I could. So I called her Sophia, Sofa, Rackle, Racquetball. But the whole time I never told the audience who I was until the very end when once they had won, I was like, thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been Grace Raquel. I'm so proud of my sister, Sophie Raquel, for winning this championship.
Unbiased or not, it was a good experience for the two who learned a lot about announcing and even the different styles of water polo.
They play a lot more aggressive, and a lot of times I'm watching the game and I'm expecting the refs to make a certain call and then they don't. But that's just how they play in California. They're a lot more grabby, more aggressive with it, but they're smart, so they know what they're doing.
Sophie stayed in the pool throughout the summer as she was one of 14 polo players invited to compete in an all-star training camp in Croatia in early August. Staying involved with water polo, whether it's for club, Junior Olympics, or the international level, it is an excellent opportunity for Sophie as she gets ready to face the next level of competition.
It was a really nice experience, and just being able to play with, once again, people I don't normally play with, and I was trained by and coached by Olympians, just high-level athletes from all over the world, and kind of being able to get that international insight, as it's a lot different here in the States than it is kind of in Europe, so learning the different viewpoints of the game.
While their broadcasting aspirations are on hold for now after a successful summer, both girls are heading back to school and back in the pool, ready to make a big splash on the collegiate level. Now the focus becomes adding more hardware to the expansive Raquel family trophy case. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Patrick Cotto.
It's early season volleyball action between two local powerhouses as Bennett Academy welcomes Mattia Valley into Alumni Gymnasium. The teams are looking to keep up their solid beginnings to the season, both coming in with just one loss. Things start off hot for Mattia as they set up Catherine Schuley for a play at the net that goes off Bennett to start the Mustangs up 2-0. Bennett recovers quickly though, and middle Linny Tarnow delivers her first ferocious spike of the evening to make it 5-4 Red Wings. Bennett now goes to work on defense. Ellie Sternagel and Tarnow pair up for a block to stop the Mattia onslaught and give Bennett the 9-4 lead. Mattia now showing off its own defense. Bennett gets another great setup, but Olivia Stewart rises for the block, an immediate point to stop the Bennett rally. A few points later, as Bennett leads 18-8, Mustang outside hitter Maddie Hopkins delivers a punishing spike across the court to try and rally the visitors. Bennett refuses to let up in the first set though, as they sit at a 23-11 lead, and here's a nice one-handed setup from libero Anaya Warren, which leads straight to Ava Novak on the outside, who gets another kill for the Red Wings. They take the first set 25-12. Regrouping for the second set, the Mustangs get some early success. Maddie Hopkins gets the kill to start 3-1. The lead doesn't last for long though, as Bennett receives and sets up Tarnow as the 6'5 sophomore ties set 2 at 5. A high-powered offense of Bennett meets the stonewall defense of Mattia in this rally. Schuley puts Mattia ahead 8-7 with her block. Mattia leads 13-11, looking to break things open, but again, Ava Novak scores on a spike from the outside. The Mustangs get some momentum as Neha Rajamani and Camille Morrison combine to block Tarnow and take a 19-16 lead. Facing a change in momentum, Ellie Sternagel keeps the ball alive, and then on the next opportunity wins the point, slowing down the Mustang march. On the next Bennett serve, Tarnow keeps on providing for the Red Wings, as her kill puts Bennett within 1 point. The Bennett rally does continue though, and Tarnow gets another opportunity to put Bennett back in the lead at 20-19. With Bennett leading 21-20, Ava Lederberg comes up with a sprawling dig that sets up Audrey Aslielsen for a spike. It increases the Bennett lead to 2. Facing match point, the Mustangs' serve goes into the net, and Bennett takes it in 2 sets. The Red Wings improve to 6-1 and will begin conference play at Carmel next Tuesday. Our boys' play of the week comes from the Bennett Academy football game against Moline. Quarterback Ryan Kubacki Jr. and wide receiver Pat Patello connect for a touchdown. At the end of the first, Kubacki Jr. takes the snap and surveys the field. He can't find anyone open right away and scrambles around some Moline defenders. The Bennett quarterback launches one on the run to Patello, who makes an outstanding sliding touchdown grab. The refs talk it over and agree that Patello did indeed stay in bounds. To the slow-mo we go, and here you can get a better glimpse of the great catch. Bennett goes on to win the game 38-7. We'll wrap up today's show after the break and see who takes home this year's Best of the West Championship in boys soccer. Do you want all the most exciting highlights from your student-athlete's high school career? Relive all your favorite stories and moments from the past few seasons of Naperville Sports Weekly by purchasing digital downloads. Visit nctv17.org/shop to order today.
Look, Mom, I found one.
Oh, yeah, you did, but we need an ATM from our bank, unless you want to spend a small fortune in fees.
No, thank you. Banking with BMO means more fee-free ATMs than the 2 largest U.S. banks combined, including places like pharmacies and grocery stores.
Saving money and more convenient. Look at you being so helpful.
What'd you expect? You're studying at a help stop.
That's you.
That's me, at a desk.
When a bank helps you get and stay ahead, that's the BMO effect.
The Best of the West title game is on between rivals Naperville North and Naperville Central. The Huskies advance with a 5-2 win over Bennett, and the Redhawks defeated Plainfield North 1-0. Early in the game, Patrick Bowen throws it into the box, but the header is saved by Husky keeper Jack Bauska. Not long after, at the other end, Nico Ladas heads one in from the corner kick as a score flips to a 1-0 lead for the Huskies. A couple minutes later, Husky Jackson Stokes makes a great move in Red Hawk territory, and he finds Noah Radicke just inside the box. Radicke curls one into the top right corner for a 2-0 North lead. Some great execution in the final third from the Huskies. Radicke wasn't done yet. Later in the half, he takes the long pass and hammers it into the back of the net to make it a 3-0 lead for the Huskies. North picking up where they left off in the second half, as Radicke gets another long pass from Sam Hess, and he stays composed, slotting it into the bottom right corner and extending the lead to 4-0. A few minutes later, Jackson Stokes dribbles past the Red Hawk defense and fires one which catches the leg of a Red Hawk and into the back of the net. That goal for the Huskies seals it up as they win the championship 5-0. North is crowned Best of the West champions for the 7th straight year. And that will just about do it for our second show of Naperville Sports Weekly Season 17. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget you can find all our highlights from the season as well as feature stories and community sports on nctv17.org and our NCTV 17 Sports YouTube channel. You can also find us on social media at NCTV17 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy, and I'll see you again next week.